They thought that was not what he was bringing them, that he was going to bring them another one-party system, and they rejected that. Of course, the cure of the military forcing him from power may end up being worse than the disease.
There's no doubting the scale of the dangerous divide across Egypt. These running battles in Alexandria, the country's second city, are a stark reminder President Morsi's popularity had plummeted recently, partly because he put religion ahead of a failing economy.
We don't think that God should be involved in this political dispute at all. We want to run our country for the sake of our people, for social justice, to meet their basic needs, education, housing, these kinds of issues that we need, and not a religious war between believers and non-believers.
Mohamed Morsi was the first president to win free elections in Egypt. Now he's the casualty of the army's judgment that he failed the state. The military sided with protesters who accused the president of ignoring all opposition, of pushing an Islamist agenda, and of neglecting essential economic reforms. It leaves his Muslim Brotherhood angry and potentially dangerous, infuriated that their man was given only a year, and arguing that it makes a sham of democracy if the generals can veto leaders they don't like.
Whatever else you say about President Morsi, he was elected in a fair election, and there is a great danger that if the army can take the view that you can depose a president because of a big popular uprising, in this particular case, why can it not happen to other presidents who are democratically elected in the future?
So just a year after what looked like a triumph of democracy in Egypt, the victor has been forced out. Egypt is no stranger to military coups, but President Morsi's downfall is different, and it will have consequences far beyond Egypt's borders. James Robbins, BBC News.
Let's go back to Cairo now, and our Middle East editor, Jeremy Bone. You were talking in your report, Jeremy, about the risk of violence. How great is that risk, given that Mr. Morsi's supporters have seen him unceremoniously removed?
Well, there's already been violence. Reports of gunfire tonight, and, of course, people killed in the previous 24 hours or so. The Muslim Brotherhood, over the years, and it's a very well-established organisation, an organised, established organisation on street level, has been conservative, and it has had a code which is respected for several generations of non-violence. Now, the question is whether younger, perhaps more hot-headed people might want to change that. There's also a question of violence starting as a result of two groups of heated supporters coming together and just events happening. But there's probably the risk that people are most worried about is not from the Muslim Brotherhood itself, but from jihadist groups who might want to do something bad to mark their displeasure about what's happening and to hit back. In the 1990s, there was virtually a war going on between jihadist groups and the Mubarak government. And the big fear in this country is that something like that might be a risk in the immediate future.
Jeremy, for the moment, thank you. We'll have more from Jeremy later on in the programme. And also there's lots more on the unfolding situation in Egypt on the BBC News website.